Hello everybody, welcome back to the Artisan of Glimmith. Last time we finished the shape bank window and got our jewels there. So if we have a very quick scroll back north, zoom, we can see now we have 3 perfected windows. And to get a perfect window, we need to do 28 perfect windows, I guess is what that is about, which is going to be a whole thing. For now, though, let's just keep up our tour of, like, mechanics that my brain gels with nicely. So, we just did Shape Bank. We're not doing Gemini and Delta anytime soon for that. What else do we have? Precision. I remember not being able to do this for a long time. Precision 10. So, it's 3 regions of 30. But this and this have to be of different regions. This and this have to be of different regions. And this have to be of different regions. So that can't get to there, but this can't take both of those. So my problem before, I recall, was how can I get this to touch anything else? Because the ways the line protrude, I can't make it do more. I guess I should try and take some inspiration from over here. I know this line moves, and so it's a slightly different puzzle, but there are some kind of very big, elongated shapes to contend with down there. We know that has to go to there, at the very least. That is something that is true. That's 10, 8. But this can't get to there without trapping that in. That's my real problem here. Don't tell me that's it. How did I not do that after so many other times of looking at that puzzle? So that's 36 of 44. We need 8 more. Oh, you've got Geminis and Deltas on you. That's not what my brain wants to see. What do you belong to? Shape Bank Polyominoes. Part of me wants to use the tab to show hiddens just to convince myself what the count is around the place, but just do the ones you can see and we'll worry about the ones we can't see later. Good God, that is a crimson one. Jeez, precision 4. All right, we'll start with those. Then this has to be 4 without being a T. It can't be that because it leaves that in, so that has to do that. This has to be 4 without being a T. Could be this. Could be that. This has to be 4. It's the same shape, right? 2 regions touching the symbol must be the same shape. So it's either that, which seems unlikely. But, like, it could be. Except this would have to be a 4 that is not a T shape. which would have to be that leaving a 1. So I think those do have to go together. That leaves this having to be a T. That leaves this having to be a T, which I think would have to go that way so that this can get out. If this has to be a T, it would have to be that, which leaves that as this. This is going okay. If this has to be a T, but it can't be that T, then it would have to be... It'd have to be that T, but that only leaves 2 spaces there. That's throwing me for a loop. Oh. You could do that instead. Does that change something about this? Means you are correct. Which makes that that. This has to go 1, 2, 3. And either 4 or 4. Can't be that because that leaves a 3. So that goes that way. That's a straight 4. Then we've got 12 pieces left here to figure out. This can't be straight. Can't be that because that leaves that there. Can't be that, so that's going to be this. That's going to be... No. Can't do that because this has to get out. And it has to get out without being a T or a Z. Can't be... Yeah, because it can't do that. Can't do that. Can't do that because that ends up there. Can't do that because you're not happy. God, I hope everything up to this point is correct. And I'm just not seeing how we finish here. I don't know how far back I'd have to go to check for a mistake, because we got here quite fluidly, really. I don't want to use this button too much, but I also don't want to redo work if the work is good, you know? There is at least one mistake. Alright. I'm not going to reveal it. Take me back to about here. Everything up to here is correct. Okay. So, this has to be part of a T. It has to be this, right? Because the only other way it can be part of a T is that, and that's not allowed. So that's fine. Lock that in. I think I did this, but would this be viable as an option? Perhaps. Seems like it could be. But this can't do that now. There's nowhere else to fill that in. Alright, keep up with what we know. This has to be part of a T. Can't be that T. Has to be that T. This has to be 4 and get out. It's either going to go zigzag to there, which leaves a 2, which is no good, so it's this. That has to do that. That has to do that. I feel like I've repeated a lot of what I did earlier, but everything here is correct. Okay. This and this. Can't be a Z, can't be a T. This can't be straight. Ah. Don't know where I went wrong while I was going through it the first time, but we got it. What other ones do we have around? Precision 3 Gemini Deltas. Well, all threes are either this or this. And so, whatever we do on this side is going to be heavily matched and then very specifically not matched. But we can start by filling in a few things. That goes there, that goes there, that goes there. That's it. Well, our options are, if this goes down, that has to go down. That leaves a 2. 2's no good. Glad I coloured that in earlier. So, that's straight. Now, that could be straight. But that would have to leave a 3, and that leaves a 2. So, could be straight that way. That would go that way. That way. Then that has to be straight. Okay, this can't be, because this either ends up with this, which can't go, or this, which can't go. So what can we do here? What did we decide? If this was hooked, this would have to be hooked and breaks that. So that has to be straight. Which means that has to be straight. Which means that has to be hooked, making a 2. That's hooked. Can't be hooked. If that's straight, then that's straight. And then this has to be hooked. It can't be hooked because it makes a 2. Or a 1. So that is hooked. No. This is straight and that's straight that way. Is that what I'm getting to? I feel like I just did this and it was wrong. Now this could be this, or, okay. If it's this or this, we've seen this before. The puzzle solution has to be unique. If it's this or this, they're the same. And that can't be alternate, so that has to do that so that there's an impact on this side of the puzzle. So that's going to be part of an L. This is part of an L. That has to do that so that can be straight. That has to do that, but that can't be straight. That could be. Oh, wait. That can be straight. Ha 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 ha! You cheeky devil. Right, I can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we need 6. There's one more that I'm not seeing somewhere. It's not you. I did you. Got you. Where are you hiding? There's one hiding somewhere. Well, we'll press on with the ones that we can find. There's a 6, a 6, a 5, a 5. Oh, there's one in the tree, wasn't there? Good grief. Precision 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, it's almost like a shape bank puzzle, then. But I guess it doesn't quite have to be. Because I could do something like that, and then have other shapes on the outer border edge after I've done this a few times. Or even if this is a lightning bolt with a cap. Can't do that, that leaves a bunch of empty edge space. So let's think about the possibility of taking this around our edges. So it would be a lightning bolt with a cap. But that leaves this space that I can't get out of. Where's our most limited space? It would be this too. So some part of this that is too wide is going to have to exist here. Unless it doesn't. Unless it's like that. In it. What do we say? It was a Z with a 2 cap. That's 14, not 12. So as much as I could keep this up, I can't make 2 regions of 6 in here. Oh, goody. This is what? 54? There's 9 of them, or 9 regions have to fit in here. But all the ones that touch the center have to match the center. So it's that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plus 1. Six and 9 is no good. God, this is a real thinker, isn't it? I almost want to just colour in this. Not that cell, not that cell, not that cell, not those cells. Which feels like it's possibly going to be important. that those corner cells don't actually have to be parts of the regions that are the same. Well, this guy here, if it were a cap without touching any of the others, it still has to get out, right? Which makes that feel super good. Two. And how does this go? 2. And then 2 down. And then that leaves a 1. I just can't begin to see it. Oh, there's so many Geminis. This is just a precision 8. But my god, there's so many lines. 5 areas of 8. But they can't share lines anywhere. Right, that can't come to there, but we can't fill that in. Oh, that needs an 8th. God, this is gross. How do I even begin here? Like, this was precision 8, but I couldn't begin to tell you how I started the logic on this. I just had to build. Do these look got more gold than usual? I just have to build it over time, right? And just kind of trust in myself that there's going to be some real weird shapes. Well, okay. This cell must make it out to this cell, and therefore it must pick up that. That is one of those things that is true, because the shape of the puzzle, that is at least a start. That has to be with that. Now this could come out like this, but this has to be true. So we know that this is off limits to this. This is also off limits to this. So it's not going out that way. It's not going up that way, because that makes an area that can't be gotten to. It could come down to here. Could come down like this in some manner or another. But how else? Great question. This just doesn't feel like it's going to be right at all. Yeah, this can't be, because that leaves that, and that can't go to there. That did that. It really thinks about where these two pieces go. If these could be something like this. That would make that an 8 and that an 8. But this can't get out. Oh, God. My brain just says, make it as squirrely as possible. These two don't have to be part of the same region. That's a fun, different shape. That still ends up with that having to exist. But there's nowhere for 8 to exist here. So these 4 have to exist together. Can't go around that corner. This is almost certainly not it. How do we feel about this? Very bad. Oh, so bad. Where can any of this stuff go? That is a great question. I feel like there's got to be other little pockets of certainty, but I just don't know where. Can't do this because that leaves the 1. So we're not going to that line. We're not going to that line. We can't do this, so we're not going through that line. We need to pick up 4 more of this space. We decided it can't be that because that just makes this happen. Can't do that. What about this? That still makes that happen. Those would have to all be together. That would have to be there. But this can't get out to 8 in a way that functions, I think. Where else can we make 8 out of this? Is it ever that? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's like these that are the real problem. 2 of them are going to have to exist on the top and 2 are going to have to exist on the bottom. But then this is the problem. Oh. Hey. Nice. Can we squeeze in 1 more? Oh god, not that one. Are they all this? They're all this, aren't they? Except you, that I can't get my brain around. Where's the last one that I'm not seeing? Oh, you're hiding in a tree over here. Scamp. Of course, you're also a Delta Gemini. Precision 4, Delta Gemini. Where do you even begin? That's a great question. Where do you begin? I'm really not sure where I could start or stop with any of this. Like, we can't do this. So this would either have to be that, or that, or that. Those are the options. Okay, but this and this have to be different. Because if this is X, and this is X, then this is also X, and this is also X, but that's not allowed through this. Therefore, this is a line. Okay. I found my in. So that has to be that. Boom. That means this has to be that, because it can't be that and leave a 1. Boom. Then this has to be different than that. Can't be this, because that leaves a 1. Can't be this, because that would leave that. Therefore, I think that has to be a T. Which means that has to be a T. Which means that has to be an L. Which means this has to be an L. Which would have to be that, I think. Because the only other way it could be would be that, and that's not allowed. That's got to be then 1, 2, 3, 4 in a straight piece to get out. This has to be part of an L. Beautiful. All right, we've got 4 more of these, but they're all difficult Gemini Deltas or this thing that I can't wrap my brain around. But we made good progress on our precision, and so I'm pretty happy with that for today. Thank you guys ever so much for watching. Hit that like button, subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.